got you updated. This is Radio Imanzi News in English.
Broadcasting from Kigali. Here is the news in English, brought to you by Fiona Omuganwa. The headlines. Prince Charles has announced that he will be in Kigali for the Commonwealth Heads of Government meeting. Lieutenant General Muhoozi Kainerugaba arrived in Kigali. The city of Kigali is considering scaling up of a new model to upgrade informal settlements. Cameroon is the latest African country to ban the smoking of shish pipes. Now the news in detail. Prince Charles, the heir apparent to the British throne, has announced that he and his wife, Duchess Camilla, will be in Kigali for the Commonwealth Heads of Government meeting slated for June this year. The Prince of Wales made the announcement today, an occasion for all 54 member countries of the Commonwealth to celebrate Commonwealth Day. Rwanda marked the day by hoisting the Commonwealth flag at the Kigali Convention Center by officers of the Rwanda National Police. The ceremony of raising the flag, which is done by every member country of this bloc, brings greater understanding and appreciation of the values and principles of the Commonwealth Charter. The theme of Commonwealth Day states, delivering a common future, which is traditionally aligned with the next Commonwealth Heads of Government meeting. Lieutenant General Muhoozi Kainerugaba arrived in Kigali this morning, making his visit the second trip to Rwanda in less than 2 months. Lieutenant General Muhoozi had previously tweeted that he would travel to Kigali to solve all outstanding issues between Rwanda and Uganda. The Commonwealth Inter-School Debate Championship, which had been going on since February, came to an end, with Gashora Girls' School becoming winners. The theme of the final debate was the youth should have a key role in delivering a common future, innovation and transformation, in accordance with this year's Commonwealth Day theme of delivering a common future, connecting, innovating, transforming. The British High Commissioner to Rwanda, Omar Deil, said the goal of these discussions is to broaden young people's awareness of what the Commonwealth is, what it stands for, and what its values are.
But the second thing was to build these skills of debating, of critical thinking, of self-confidence among the students. And so this competition went all around the country to schools in the north, the south, east and west, as well as here in Kigali. And we saw some really excellent young debaters making strong arguments and speaking so well. So I've really enjoyed it today, and I think it's a good reminder of what the Commonwealth can do to bring us together. Yeah, so tomorrow is Commonwealth Day, which is the day that we all celebrate the Commonwealth organization. And of course it comes just a few months before CHOGM happens here in Kigali. And one of the themes of CHOGM in Kigali is going to be about building a common future. So that's what we were talking to the young people about here, what they were debating about how young people can help shape the future of the Commonwealth. Well, I think this was also an opportunity to network, to meet other schools, to hone their skills and so on. So I hope it will be an encouragement to other young people to get into debating, to think about how they can do these kind of events. And we hopefully will support another one in the future, but we'll have to wait and see. Well, this is the first time that we we've done it, and it was particularly this year because of Chogam being held in Kigali, but it seems to have been a big success, and it was popular with the young people. So we'll look at either doing something like this or something else in the future with school.
The Commonwealth intends to bank on its people, particularly the youth, who make up the majority of its member countries. The city of Kigali is considering scaling up of a new model to upgrade informal settlements in the capital in the areas with highest number of unplanned settlements. The new model involves contribution of land from the residents on which the housing blocks are built for them, meaning that residents are not relocated but rehoused. According to Rwanda Land Management and Use Authority, over 61% of the population in the country currently live in informal settlements. Kigali's vice mayor in charge of urbanization and infrastructure, Mered Habgana Maguru, says that so far 37 units have been constructed and 56 units are under construction. The upgrading model sets up basic infrastructure such as water, roads, disaster control infrastructure, electricity and others to pave the way for residents to upgrade their houses and do businesses. The Ministry of National Unity and Civic Engagement has called on young people to live exemplary lives, abstain from the bad habits such as drug use, and to have patriotic values. Minister Dr. Bizimana Jean Damascene made the remarks at the inauguration of the 9th edition of training camps for the Rwandan youth in Rubavu District, Western Province. This was preceded by a cleaning of the genocide memorial in Commune Rouge, where 5,186 victims of the 1994 genocide were laid to rest. The training camps helps young people to understand the history of the country and promote moral values. Rulindo district authorities have called on families living in the Muyanza agriculture area to relocate to village sites where they can access infrastructure and get away from potentially life-threatening areas as soon as possible. The families claim they cannot afford to purchase land or build houses on the planned village sites. The Deputy Mayor for Economic Development in Rulindo District says they are going to find a solution for those who cannot afford to relocate.
Some items of international news on Radio Imanzi.
Thousands of Tunisian opposition supporters demonstrated in the capital against President Kais Saied's power grab and the economic crisis in the North African country. The demonstration was called by the Free Historian Party, which is led by lawyer Abel Moussi. Moussi said the government today is incapable of finding solutions for the Tunisian people. She branded Tunisia's current executive as illegitimate and called for legislative elections to be brought forward from their scheduled date of December. Already plunged in economic crisis, Tunisia has in recent weeks seen a shortage of staple foods as the war in Ukraine threatens to interrupt key supplies to various Arab countries. The authorities have attributed the shortages to panic buying ahead of the holy month of Ramadan starting this year in April. Saied had earlier declared a relentless war on food speculators and profiteers, accusing them of seeking to strike at social peace and security. The Senegalese army announced that it had launched an operation against rebels in Casamance. The Senegalese General Staff said the armies launched an operation on Sunday whose main objective is to dismantle the basis of the Movement of Democratic Forces of Casamance faction of Salif Sadio located along the northern border. The crisis in Somalia is predicted to worsen in the coming months as drought ravages the country and relief agencies struggle to raise funds for adequate humanitarian response. The UN is warning that the situation in Somalia and the Horn of Africa in general could take a back seat as aid agencies and donors focus on other crises around the world. The UN resident and humanitarian coordinator for Somalia, Mr. Adam Abdelmullah, said scaling up response to drought in Somalia is impeded by access and funding challenges. The warning by the UN emerged as Somalia faces a crippling lack of funds to tackle a devastating drought. Somalia's drought is the effect of 3 consecutive seasons without adequate rain. According to a warning by the UN, the country is now facing a crisis with at least 5 million people leaving their homes in search of food and water. Cameroon is the latest African country after Kenya, the Gambia, Tanzania, Rwanda and Ghana to ban the smoking of shish pipes. According to the Health Ministry, about 46% of young Cameroonians smoke the substance, saying it possesses a serious risk to their health. The British Heart Foundation says there is a misconception that shishas are not as harmful as cigarettes. An hour-long shisha session can be the equivalent of smoking more than 100 cigarettes. Algeria's President Abdelmadjid Tebboune ordered the banning of exports of all consumer products that Algeria imports, such as sugar, pasta, oil, semolina, and all wheat derivatives. The presidential decision means that not only Algerian economic operators are not allowed to export food products made from imported raw materials, but also they risk legal action in case of infringement. In addition, the president asked the government to continue to ban completely the import of frozen meat and to encourage the consumption of locally produced meat. All 17 million people in the Chinese tech hub of Shenzhen began their first full-day under lockdown today as restrictions spread across Shanghai and other major cities to combat an outbreak challenging the nation's zero-tolerance COVID strategy. The southern city of Shenzhen imposed a measure on Sunday to counter an Omicron flare-up in factories and neighborhoods linked to nearby Hong Kong, which is recording scores of daily deaths as the virus runs rampant. Health officials have warned tighter restrictions could be on their way as concerns mount over the resilience of China's zero-COVID approach in the face of the highly transmissible Omicron variant. Ukraine today demanded that Russia be immediately expelled from the Council of Europe, saying it had no right to remain a member of the pan-European rights body after invading its neighbor. The Council's executive body, the Committee of Ministers, had suspended Russia from its rights of representation a day after the invasion, but an expulsion will be unprecedented. The Parliamentary Assembly is expected on Tuesday to adopt a resolution recommending that the committee invite Russia to withdraw from the body. Economic news is a regular feature on Radio Imanzi. The Rwanda Stock Exchange market report of today. Today's trading session remained quiet as no transactions were recorded on both the equities and fixed income markets. The currency market review of today. The Kenyan shilling buying price was 8.8 Rwandan francs and the selling price was 8.9. Tanzanian shilling buying price was 0.43 Rwandan francs and the selling price was 0.44. Ugandan shilling buying price was 0.27 and the selling price was 0.28. Burundian franc buying price was 0.49 and the selling price was 0.5. The US dollar buying price was 1,006 Rwandan francs and the selling price was 1,026 Rwandan francs. The British pound buying price was 1,310 Rwandan francs and the selling price was 1,336 Rwandan francs. The euro buying price was 1,098 Rwandan francs and the selling price was 1,120 Rwandan francs. Today's weather forecast from the Rwanda Meteorology Department. From 6 in the evening to 6 in the morning is expected to be mostly cloudy in all parts of the country. The average wind speed expected is between 3 meters per second and 4 meters per second. The minimum temperature is to be 11 degrees Celsius tomorrow morning in Nyabihu district. With that, we come to the end of tonight's edition.